Hey, and welcome to a second video of this project, of Project SCP Facility 667. I think it's a fair share to give you guys another video update about how the mission development and map development is going. So if you've seen the first part, you can just sit back and relax. I'm not going to go fully in details of the first part, that's already been made, that I already showed off. I will go a bit slower on the parts I've updated, upgraded, and you shall see. So sit back and relax and enjoy. So this first part, like I said, this is pretty much done so far, I guess. I'm not going to change big things over here, maybe some small updates here and there, but this part is basically already done. So let's proceed to the second part. We're going inside the facility. So also over here, nothing really changed. This is basically just to show everything a little bit off. Even if you haven't watched the first video, you'll be able to see things, so you don't need to rewatch videos. So this first part is basically the same. The tunnels, the tunnels towards the SCP facility, because this base is still expanding. Some parts of the mission are updated, of the map are updated. I will tell you what parts are updated compared to the first version. But these parts are for now pretty much the same. Didn't really do much on them. Maybe fix some glitches here and there, but that's it. I'm not sure if the dead SCP facility guards are in the previous video, but this is already like a little bit of environment storytelling, because you're basically going to be an MTF team that's going in to find out what's happened in the facility, why it didn't respond. So here are the most changes done, I think. I think most things are the same from this part, the descent part, but the further we go inside the descent part, the more things you will notice that are changed and updated. So the reason why I didn't add I said railings on the sides of these parts is to add another layer of suspension to keep the player on edge and basically punish them if they don't pay that much attention. For example, if they try to rush it, for example, if there are multiple players trying to rush the same way, they probably fall off because they're bumping into each other. So this is basically a way to get the player on their toes. So over here there are the most changes gonna be from this point on. So if you're familiar with the first video, you will notice some big changes actually. I tried to prevent repeating hallways, to add another layer of atmosphere and to add another level of depth. This large room, for example, was totally different in the last video. There are like only a few generators standing here and here, and that was it. And now I fully upgraded, added multiple levels of depth. For example, this little pit in here is like some sort of control panel thingy. For example, to conduct research in these tubes. The descent part is still more the factory kind of thing, like more the industrial energies. I said energy central of the facility. So this is more like an industrial atmosphere towards it. At least I try to create it. Still, some hallways are still pretty dull like this. Because they're still getting developed. It's still not finished. I'm working on different parts on the facility because I try to keep myself busy and inspired as much as possible. So I try to avoid repetitive things. So I look at it with a fresh pair of eyes at the same thing, so I can get some more creative with it and prevent like making the same hallway over and over again. Or, for example, lose the touch of the atmosphere. Also, this is pretty much changed. Also, a change of depth over there in the corner. Added foundation logo on the side. Added this pillar inside of there. Added more lights and a door over there. Some extra details, you know. I still need to add sound effects, for example, from the laptops, or add some special other pictures. I used some picture he had from previous projects of mine. This part is still pretty dull, but I'm going to show you anyway, because there's some minor changes in it, and so you can see what I did with it, and so you can like see a little bit what I'm trying to make and trying to do in here. Again, biggest thing I did was lightning in these parts. All the lightning is for now, like, not all lightning is fixed, but most of the lightning is fixed in these parts. And over here I probably play something that the players really want, like some Arsenal or something like that, so they have eye candy. I reworked also these parts a little bit, added more details. I'm still not done with this part, but it starts to look like something. I think it looks pretty cool. Of course, opinions differ. This is a pretty dull hallway, still needs to construct in here, make some things in here, make it interesting for the player to look at it. Also, this part is basically purely made to put the player on, let them play carefully, and also buy more playtime in it, because the player cannot really rush this part. I mean, they can, but it's really risky for them. So most people will not rush this part, which adds more playtime inside the mission. This is still pretty much the same. Also here, mainly place lights, nothing really else. Because I still, like I said, I like to work on different parts of the mission to prevent repetitivity and to add more creativity towards it. Also need to place some lights in here. I'm wanting to do something fancy in here with the lightning. But you'll soon see within the next video update. It's also still the same, the orange lightning from the roof that pipes above you. So again, this is also pretty much the same, added maybe some extra lightning. In the next part, I'm not sure if I showed it off last time, but I also updated it, some parts of it. I'm going to just show you the entire way around it, because it already did in the first video, and nothing changed in those parts. The next changes are going to be in this area. I mean, this was still in the previous one, so I'm going to show you guys the next one. It's all pretty much the same. Again, the player, you'll be able to see with flashlights through the fence, and you can see, for example, enemies or friendlies walking by, all adding extra layers of depth. I'm not quite sure if I showed the way under this with the stuff I've placed so far, but I can show you anyway in this video, just to show a little bit of. To making this a 30-minute video, let's do this like this. I still need to add like extra details like pipes, wires, and extra stuff like that you see underground. But this is so far it's made. Still gonna make a kind of storage area over here. This is basically still the same. It's still pretty dull, this part. I still need to upgrade it, but just to show you guys all the way a little bit, also for the people who didn't watch the first video, so they get a sense of idea what's going on. The part, this is I think the last part that was shown in the first video, so I think almost everything from next to here is new to you guys, for guys who have watched the first video. So I hope you guys enjoyed so far, and I hope the next area will also tease you with the next chapters and the next level parts, the next parts of the level. This door is locked, the players cannot interact with it. It's basically your way down over here. Okay. So this is all new, I guess. Yeah, it should be all new. This is also going to be a large hallway, in like a large room. I still need to edit this, like at the details, like at, for example, chairs and benches and all other kinds of details. If you paid attention in the videos, you know that there upstairs are like other lift shafts. So if I feel like it, I should like make this, for example, an Easter egg that the player can go back with these elevators. Over here we have already a part of the SCP facility, like the more like the personal quarters, the like containment area. But you'll notice something that this door cannot be opened, it's locked. So you need to go another way around to enter the containment area. This part still needs to get details, etc. So now we're going towards the sewers. like the descent, the sewers also is going to have its own atmosphere, its own environment of storytelling and of its own like detail wise that you'll notice soon. I still need to add some lights in here. I will not put any objects in this because to prevent the people will glitch out of this tunnel, out of the sewer tunnel. So here we go in the actual sewers. The player moves slower in the sewers because it's higher water. He will be able to like make a sprint to go faster in the water, or you can like use the high ground on some parts. For example, over there you can climb over from over here. So you have actually a little bit more like you can a little bit more ways to move yourself around. So it's not going to be limited with falls or stuff. It's basically you can go whatever you want and use, for example, the poop or the garbage or anything that goes from through the sewers to your advantage. For example, to fight off an enemy or an SCP, whatever. So you might have seen already this kind of like platform over here. Of course, the SCP Foundation is always doing research, is always trying to find out things, learn more things. So over there you can see like they were doing some kind of small research over there, and for some reason this ladder was broken down. We see a radiation sign with danger on it. There's also going to be environmental storytelling that the water where you're standing in is actually not very good for your health. I've used in here more more stronger lightning in here because I want the player to see what's around him, so he can soak up all the information that he's actually walking on poop and on garbage and on stuff that he doesn't really want to walk on. Let's be honest, no one wants to walk on poop or in standing garbage bags, for example. Here I still need to add some detail over here. For example, this is going to be a research kit where they're trying to measure the poisonous or the the things that are in the water for the research. And here we have like a small SCP research point where they were researching this water. I'm gonna add more details in this. This is more like placed in a way like that I know that what I want to build in here. So nothing you see here is permanent. Everything can change in here. But it's more for me like to set up stuff. As you can see the door with the you can exit here, but you cannot interact with the door because of course you need to go the hard way and go to the danger zone. Yet again, the biggest challenge is lightning in Arma 3. You can only use an X amount of lights in a certain area. You can lightning goes through walls. There are a lot of stuff that will hinder you to make some nice lightning, etc. But I think I've made it work so far. at least trying to push out what's most possible. So over here the player goes deeper inside the sewers. I spent the last few days more working on this part of the mission, the sewer part of the mission, because I just generally like the atmosphere. It's really a nice thing to be doing for now instead of just hallways only. And yet again, the SCP was all about storytelling, and I try to add that as much as possible in it with visual objects, like what could have gone in here, why are people dead, etc. Or why don't I see more people around, why are we, for example the MTF team, why are we for now the only ones alive, for etc. Again, in this water the player cannot run or move as fast as he was on land. This adds also like a little nice detail inside the level, inside the mission level. I still need to do some lighting in this area. For example, it's nice fire over there, but it does not illuminate enough, I think. This way is blocked off with with the wooden planks, etc. And to prevent players from glitching, I also added an invisible wall, so people cannot try to climb around this without extremely tryharding. So that people can actually see like, oh, there's something over here, might something useful. So the player knows that they need to find a way around this, and of course the fastest way is left. Over here I still need to add some extra lights to showcase what's above them, like a broken part of the sewers, some rubble on it. So the player needs to crouch over here to go under the rubble. Again here, also more storytelling. Because you might be thinking like, hey, why is the skeleton here? I thought this was an SCP facility. Yes, but there will be more storytelling inside the mission itself, because you will find first the skeleton if you look around first. And if you follow these planks, they will go towards an eventually hideout for that person. I'm still constructing this, so you might see like, hey, there's an empty space, that's right. I still need to make a room in there. Over here, these are sealed, so basically to say the player like, oh, these are closed. So when we follow the plank, we're getting in this area, which you can actually see towards the planks, and the player is going to find this laptop eventually, in this tablet, and on this tablet is going to stand like a little bit story about a D class that escaped with one of us inmates. So that's why, for example, there are 2 chairs, I think 3 chairs, and there's some supplies, etc. There will be like a little bit of story. That's why also they have like, for example, 1 pistol here and 1 pistol with the body. It's going to be telling, without saying too much, like about an SCP that has escaped. They have escaped, but then they were forced to live in the sewers to prevent from being detected, because the personnel don't really like to go in deep inside the sewers without any given reason. So Um, but eventually, because the SCPs in his facility might have escaped, they might have something to do with the dead guy. Over here I still need to add details, etc. This is more like just now for now showing off how this goes. I still need to make this room as well. Eventually player goes over here. And now the player is on the other side of this fence. So if you remember, if you can go up there, you go towards that wooden shed. And over here, the player goes up. And no, this is not the end of the sewers, because the sewers keep going. I still need to work on the next part, also a lot. And even the next part, when we go a little bit higher even, because on the left is a long hallway over there and has a dead end, but I'm going to hide some good supplies over there for the player to use and find. And if we go up this way, we go higher and higher, even steeper higher. We go eventually here, but over here I want to make a part of the level where you need to actually get some diving suits and diving supplies and diving gear and dive your way through some sewer parts. So I want to add like another level, like another thing that Arma don't really use that much, like the diving stuff, inside this map and inside the mission I'm making. Those are the plans for so far I want to reveal. I hope you guys enjoyed. I can show you a lot of like the entire map so far in daylight. Wait 1 second, for the people who really wanted to see it. Okay, so this is what I have so far. Starting area, these are the caves, as you can see. Over here we have a large transfer zone towards inside the facility. We have a breach over here that guards. This is the pit, the descent. This part is going to be named the descent. And you know, the sideways, all the hallways that you can see. And this is going to be like a main battle area where the player are forced to fighting against an enemy. I'm still going to add like lots of cover for the player to use against enemies, because I want to give them a fair fight. And over here, of course, we have the way down. And as you can see from the outside, it looks like this. And this one looks like this. Okay, so now we go to this part. So this is pretty much this part. Well, a little bit too fast. Just like this part, and then you have all the way around, and then here we have the SCP objects. They look a little bit different because they're from another mod. They're from the SCP mod. So over here we have the sewer part, like the transfer zone from the descent to sewers. With this large sewer pipe that looks like this. And now we have this part, like the real sewers. That will add some extra storytelling and, you know, trying to get in the right atmosphere. From the outside it looks like this. Just use the canal bridges for the sewer effect, like the large things, large archways. Here we have the computer stuff, and this one. I hope people can see the stuff I placed here. Oh, by the way, I've not connected everything with each other because it's still like I need to tell a story, and it's not really planned yet to make it a fully playable map where you can explore every area. Because I don't know if people like it or people want it, etc. There are also Easter eggs hidden already in the map itself. I still need to like add lightning over here. The reason I showed you guys in this daylight so is you can see more about the details I've added in. To work over this. So this kind of looks like from above. Ways are closed. Here it goes upstairs, higher, and over here it goes even higher. And I still need to make this part. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think about it. If you have any tips or you want to like see any changes or whatever, just let me know. And thank you for watching. Bye bye.